You're such an asshole.
Hey everybody, assholeconsulting.com. Got a question, and I have to show you how unplugged from society I've been. I had no idea it was the Emmys. I had no idea that there was riots in St. Louis. And this guy is, it's like, hey, what about the cops? What about police shooting? It's like, what now? What? Huh? And I'm like, oh, there was. I'm like, you know what? I'm in Utah. I don't care. Here, and I would like to know your opinion on everything that's been going on with the police lately, particularly the Black Lives Matter situation. The media on TV and social media have been trying to paint the police, especially white police, as bullies and white supremacists who abuse their power on everyone, especially minorities. What's your take on this situation? Do you think the cops are the victims of a society that has no respect for authority? Do you think the media is unfair in a way they portray white cops? Oh, good Lord. Hell yeah. I mean, well, he wasn't a cop, but the Zimmerman guy, the white Hispanic. And how they edited the 911 call to make it sound like, I think he's black. And so that's a given. That's a given. Do you think it would help if they had more black cops to help out when needed? Your thoughts. All right, well, let me explain this whole fucked up situation. All right, the first two things, two entities, the media and then the Black Lives Matter or the professional victim whoring industry, not necessarily in the black community, but just people who like to play the victim. They have every financial and political incentive. The media, you're not going to hear about the black officer that shoots the black guy for running whatever. It has to have the racial component because that sells. It's like, not related to cops, but to show you where there's a financial incentive. But some poor black girl goes missing in Southside Chicago. Do you hear about that? You don't hear about that. But some prissy little white girl goes down to Mexico for spring break, tee-hee, and she's missing. And then that hits the news media all over the place. So race, no matter what, as long as it gets sensationalism and hits and clicks and views, that is the financial incentive that the media has seemed pretty hell-bent on. Like, the media has said, what, fourth branch of government? Report the truth? Fuck that. It's yellow journalism. I say it's brown journalism now. But this is the, was it Pulitzer? I think they still honor this guy Pulitzer. Or was it Hearst? I think it was Pulitzer, where his entire media empire was all about yellow journalism. I could be switching it around, but they still look up to these people. It's like, oh, this is someone I want to become. I want to win that prize. It's like, he was a liar. He was to say, you know what? Look up. He was instrumental. It's either Hearst or Pulitzer. I'm not sure which. Basically, without this guy, we wouldn't have gone to war, have the War of 1898 with Spain. We wouldn't have had the Spanish-American War. It doesn't matter to these people. They'll get people killed because they make the money. They get the monies. And so the media has everything. And then Black Lives Matter, or the larger et al. Professional victim whoring group, they have to have we're oppressed. Now, some of them actually, it's not Black Lives Matters, and they're not victim whoring. They actually think that they are oppressed. And if you look at how the media spins it, if you don't say get a different source, if you want to believe fake news, especially when the likes, I think it was CNN, where they edited the Zimmerman tape. Well, yeah, I'd be pissed off too, So whereas you may find these rioters disgusting, if you didn't know any better, you'd be pretty pissed off too. So I don't agree with it. I don't condone it, but I can understand it. Because, yeah, if I believe the lies coming out of the left and the mainstream media and CNN and all these other just verminous yellow-brown journalist scum, then I get pissed off too. But there is a very conscious effort with the Black Lives Matter, some people in there, I'd say most, and certainly the professional victim whores like the Jesse Jacksons and the Al Sharptons of the world. Those guys are getting too old to play this game anymore. They have every financial incentive because that's how they make their money. They don't want to get real jobs. They don't want to major in engineering. They got to major in African American studies. Oh, I'm oppressed. I can't find a job. It's whitey keeping me down. It's like, does it have anything to do with you borrowing $250,000 to get a doctorate in African American studies? No. It's me in Utah holding you back. So they have every incentive to go. So what you got to do is you got to remove it. And what you also have to remove is this is not as loud of a voice because the media doesn't fit their narrative and they don't make money on it. There's a lot of people who are the libertarian type, not so conservative, but libertarian types, where it's fuck the police, yeah, man, the cops are always getting in my face. And for example, and this has nothing to do with, I guess it does have something to do with race, but not in the white cop shooting a black guy. In Minneapolis, there were two close back-to-back events where this Somali cop, Minneapolis police, not in Somalia, but a Somali guy from Somalia who became a cop because we just couldn't promote him enough to show how diversity we are. He ended up shooting a gal from Australia, a white chick, and that's under investigation. And now that family's all pissed off, and they want that cop, the police for excessive brutality. Philando Castile, that's Minneapolis, St. Paul technically, St. Anthony Park, never mind. He was shot, and the media failed to mention that it was a Mexican cop or Hispanic descent American cop that shot Philando Castile, and then this guy got off. And then there was the incident, kind of like three back to back, where a cop shot a dog. Minneapolis police shot a dog, and the dog was, it's on body cam, and the dog was not presenting a threat or anything like that. So there's other people like, hey, you cops are using excessive force. Is there something wrong with the cops? So I think that's a bit more reasoned and evidence. But then they take it theology. Oh, fuck the police, you fuck the cops. So let me explain where old Captain comes in on this. And it's one of those actual optimistic things. It's one of those things that's like actually good when you think about it, because it's like, oh, well, maybe the system is working. When you have only half the answers, half the facts, and half the film, especially now with phones, getting out and being edited and cut and spun by institutions of media and political institutions that have every incentive to lie and spin it so that it is a lie, I don't listen to any of that shit. I really don't. What I do is I wait for a jury and a judge to go and investigate the hell out of it and then make a decision. And I don't because you could, there's been, Philando Castile, a perfect example. He was a carry concealed permit holder, all right? So he immediately got favor amongst the conservatives. And so everyone was like, hey, wait a minute, he was a carry concealed. He worked as a lunch dude at a school. Sounded pretty upstanding. Well, they go through the investigation on it. I guess he was on marijuana or high on pot. I forget. There's been so many that kind of blur together. But all of a sudden the facts start to come out. You're like, oh, wait a minute. I think the car, was that the one where the car looked like it was stolen? They had a report of it. Whatever. When I get that much, a 30-second video, and get a little bit of information about the guy, I don't make the decision then. Because in the olden days, I say, hey, wait a minute, especially there was another cop down in Georgia. They got video of the guy shooting them in the back. Like, whoa, wait a minute. Dude, you don't know what transpired before that. You don't have the context. You know who does? A jury, a defense lawyer, and a prosecuting lawyer, and a judge, and expert witness and expert testimony. So in other words, where you and I, no matter what side you tend to predispositionately fall upon, in police shootings and the police and police brutality, we really don't have squat in terms of information, evidence, testimony compared to what happens at the trial. If you really want to, if you guys really want to, and you really want to, go and spend your time reading through the cryptographer. Go watch the trial. Read through the trial. Look at the evidence. See how much time and effort and research and investigation went into all these different shootings, and then see if they weren't wrong. Because I have more faith in a jury where there's a defense attorney and a prosecuting attorney, and they got to battle it out and prove to the minds and opinions of 12 jurors and a judge And that's why I have a little bit more faith in that than I do a clip on the internet, what somebody said on some website, thrice removed. Certainly more than what I'm going to believe on mainstream media and CNN, because they've been caught red-handed tainting evidence and fabricating data. And when it comes out, I'm like, you know what? Those are the foremost authorities on that particular shooting or that particular issue or this particular incident, and I'm going to believe them. So, and then you say, oh, well, wait, no, the cops get convicted. Really? Just search cop convicted or police officer convicted. And there's like, ex-cop convicted of murder released from jail. Jury convicts Chicago cop of excessive force, firing 16 shots. Cop convicted of murdering friend after a night of drinking. New trial ordered for ex-cop convicted of killing friends. Am I on the second page? This is page 2. Page 1. Here's just to show you how much I distrust. It's the BBC said the cases where the police have faced killing charges, and they go through I think 4 or 5 different instances. Police shootings from CNN, trials and convictions are rare. I'm sorry, I don't believe CNN. And it's not because I'm not a leftist. It's not because I'm a libertarian. I just don't trust CNN. They've been called lying before. Not Washington Post. Huffington Post, how many cops got convicted of murder last year? None, and the none before that. But that's murder, not manslaughter, or excessive force, or other, assault or whatever. And also, I don't trust the Huffington. I just don't. They're not journalists. They're leftist hacks. So there are instances where cops have been found guilty of, well, on the worst case, murder, but then on a slightly lower scale, excessive force. I think the excessive force one was the Chicago cop that unloaded 16 rounds into a kid that was sitting in a car. Anyway, so the cops do get convicted, and this it just doesn't make it to the news. You just don't hear it on the news. But remember, what will make it to the news is a cute blonde girl who's 17, and oh my God, she's kidnapped down in Aruba. We can't find her. Oh no! That'll make the news. And white cop shooting black guy, that'll make the news. But frankly, I don't believe any of it. I really don't. I mean, I believe the person was shot. I believe something happened. Yes, obviously. But who's at fault? What's at fault? You know what? I'll wait for the jury to figure that out. And when 12 people who have way more information than I do, with 2 gladiators, a defense attorney and a prosecuting attorney, all by a referee, by a judge, I'm going to believe the outcome of that more than I am what I hear on this website or that website, or who said this on that TV radio station, or whatever fucking some pussy at CNN decided to do after they clipped and edited. I don't want to hear that. I just want to hear, what did the investigation find? So, I mean, let me make sure I answered your questions here. The police, what's your take on this situation? That's my take on the situation. Do you think cops are victims of a society that has no respect for authority? I think increasingly so. Now, keep in mind, a lot of these cops are getting off without charges, so they're not really victims, but they're threatened, their families are threatened. I wonder if your career isn't over. I know a lot of cops who are like, forget it, I'm working at a major city, I'm going to go work at Mayberry, and, I don't want to get charged with manslaughter because I shot the wrong type of person. Do you think the media is unfair in the way they portray white cops? I think they're unfair in the way they portray cops in general. They do have that incentive for portraying white cops as the perpetrator, but I think cops in general. This is why I'm not. If you want to look it up, the Mohammed Noor, the Somali cop. I'm not terrible. Everyone's, you rushed through affirmative action training. How about, yeah, that could be true. It doesn't make him guilty. So again, there's an instance where you'll see, same thing with the Philando Castile. They wanted his head, and he was a Hispanic cop. Do you think it would help if they had more black cops to help out when he... No, because that's not a solution. That's not meritocratic. I think if you have more black cops in black neighborhoods, that might help with relations. But then again, I'm not a cop, so I really wouldn't know. But it's not, we need to go hire more of this. That's racist. We hire the best cops, period. That's fine if you're black or you're Asian, doesn't matter. But maybe if, you want to divert some more, in ethnicities because of tribalism, okay, Chang, you go patrol Asia Town, and Bob, you go patrol Motown, and Sven, you go patrol Swedenville. I don't know what's going to happen there, but maybe they'll just want to jack up more taxes or offer their wives to you. The Swedish part of town. Wow, where all the pussies are. It's really nice and clean. Oh, please don't hurt us. Oh, here's some money. Socialism. Oh. I can't slam it because I found out I'm fucking Swedish. That fucking pisses me off. Or Nordic. Fuck, that pisses me off. Pisses me off more than I thought it would. I thought I was Irish. I thought, the Irish. Yeah, we got a little bit of character, a little bit of class. No, we're a bunch of pussy fucking Swedes. All right, that's it. I'll see you guys later. You guys got questions, go to assholeconsulting.com. Read my books. You can find them on Amazon.com. And then the Clary Podcast. You can find that on SoundCloud.com. See you guys later. Toodles.